Hey, welcome to Street Fight Radio, the number one anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. I am one of your hosts, Brian Quinby, and I'm joined here by my co-host, who usually does this part, Brett Payne. What's up, Brett?
Doing well. I had to get the computer running over there and make sure everything was all right. We are down a producer tonight, so if you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear everything all right. I would appreciate that.
We did a little early podcast work, and it's 11 o'clock, so we told Jason he didn't have to come in because we weren't going to get started till late anyway, and there was nothing he could really do, you know? That's the kind of guys we are. We just give people their time off, you know?
Yeah, it's great. And for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, we are the number one anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. We've been doing it for 9 years now, and we're live every Wednesday and Sunday night. If you want to watch us on all the social media platforms, we would appreciate it. Tell your friends, let people know. We have a great group of listeners and a great community of people, and honestly, we couldn't do it without everybody that listens and supports the show and tells other people about it. It's been great. We did, before the show, we watched the Jon Stewart movie Irresistible with Jack and Leslie from Struggle Session Podcast.
Yeah, you're going to want to listen to that comment. We watched it and did commentary for it, and they'll have it probably both ways, actually. You can watch. They usually will post with our audio and one with the audio of the movie over it. And I gotta say, I would watch the movie because it is fucking stupid and unhinged.
It's very surprising. Not what I expected at all. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was just so disappointing.
It was the most, like, milquetoast liberal shit that you could have ever imagined. It's like a guy that you think is pretty funny or is pretty cutting guy, you know. This movie is not that. It's very, like, it's like resistance comedy tweets. It's like a movie written by the people that respond to all of Donald Trump's tweets with the words nasty woman and stuff.
Yeah, it's a Krasenstein's movie, I think.
Yes, they would love it. So, yeah, that's something I would look forward to. It's a real piece of shit of a movie. If you can download it, I would do that. I would not pay the $20 for it. So, yeah, we're here. I had a panic attack before we recorded. I'm having a 2-day sort of, this is what happens in 2020 during COVID times. Whenever you have any kind of irritation in your body, you immediately think it's COVID, and there's no amount of, like, I spent all day being like, looking over the symptoms, and I have none of them.
You're
none
like,
of them.
Surely if I check again, it's going to say you have it.
Yeah. I have none of them. I've checked my temperature. I have phlegm. Like a phlegmy, like, irritation in my chest, that's where they say the COVID happens. So I just kind of figured that was when it would happen, you know, and I just figured I'm dead. That was what I thought. I was like, well, this is the end. I've reached the end of the line here. I got the COVID, you know?
Right.
So that's what's going on with me. My panic stuff is at a fever pitch, but I talk to my therapist tomorrow, so maybe I'll be able to get it down to a reasonable level. The low anxious hum that I live at most of my life, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's always at a very high level to me.
Yeah, well, it's the high hum. It's a
high. It's a high
anxiety that I have. It's
right.
Just I run at a certain level, and then when something happens, it goes up like to like it's always high, but there's a different version of high that it goes to where I can't think of anything else except the anxiety, and that's where I've been at today. Is just like I'm not thinking of anything in the world except for whatever's going on in my body. You know? And
right.
I hate that. I hate having a body. I hate all the parts of my body. you know?
Yeah, they're tough.
I hate
to
them.
deal with.
I hate having an inside of my body. It's the worst feeling. So, that's where my brain's at. I know people like a nice update of where my brain is, and it's in the same bad place it's always in. So, you know. So there's a lot of mask news right now. We're living in mask times.
Yeah.
Where we've decided that's what we're going to fight about for the next, 6 months, maybe a year. We're going to just fight about that. That's the American fight these days.
Yeah.
Which is the most infuriating, I think, of our fights. To me. Right? Like, this is just something that's, like, not something you would ever consider that we'd be fighting about. You know? In my opinion.
Yeah.
But something that... This feels like a thing that can't be politicized. How about if I say it like that?
Yeah, it's people have pointed out, but it's like seatbelts. It's like covering your mouth to cough, just like permanently doing it.
Yeah,
Not permanently, but, being a little more thorough about covering your mouth when you cough.
I mean, how bad are they? I mean, the masks, I will say, I don't like wearing it. It's not something I'm into. It's not a joy for me.
Sure.
To put it on, but
it's not that hard.
It is not. No, it's not. It doesn't ruin my day.
And the people complaining aren't working 40 hours a week in front of people.
No, yeah. And it's like we're only really asking you to do it when you're indoors. That's the other side of this thing that's so frustrating. Nobody is saying wear one at home while you're watching TV. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's not what's happening here. We're just saying if you're going to go indoors, it's a fucking wise decision to wear a mask. It's probably a good idea to wear them outdoors, but nobody's yelling at people for not doing it outdoors.
Right.
Just stay away, socially distance outdoors, and I think you're relatively safe here.
Right.
No,
yeah.
It's fucking holy shit, man. Everybody, this is the fight of our lives.
This is the chance for people to get some internet celebrity, they think.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what was before the mask? What was before COVID? Because COVID felt like a 9/11 almost at the beginning, okay? Because it was like, okay, we all agree this is fucked up, we got to do something about this. And then we went into lockdown, and for 2 weeks, we were all like, this lockdown's good. We all agreed that we were going to be in the lockdown.
Yeah.
And there were no friction from what I could tell. I mean, there were probably small business owners that were pissed, and there was, like, people losing their paychecks and shit like that kind of stuff. But it was all like, we kind of all agreed that was needed. By 2 weeks into it, they figured it out. And they were just like, okay, now we have to be mad about this. And this has to be something that we yell at each other for. Almost to the point where I feel like there's just big money in making us all hate each other. Like I never thought that. That wasn't like my conspiracy belief,
It's probably just because you watched the movie Irresistible by Jon Stewart that you think that now. He opened your eyes.
That was the lesson that I learned watching that movie. But doesn't it feel that way? Doesn't it really feel like there has to be something behind the fact that we constantly figure out a reason to hate each other? No matter the situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said before, but the people in power benefit from it. I think both sides, like Democrats, like Republicans because they can say I'm not a Republican, and Republicans like Democrats because they can say I'm not a Democrat.
Well, Republicans, have I think a harder battle in that because the Democrats don't feel like a threat.
True.
You know what I mean? I don't think the Republicans even see them as a threat, really. The ones in power. Maybe the ones, like, my father-in-law thinks AOC is an existential threat to his way of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think the ones in power just see the Democrats as, like, we gotta have a heel. You know what I mean?
I think honestly, my opinion, it was the peak. When they started talking about the peak, and they were saying, like, a lot of people are going to die, but then we did the quarantine thing, and the peak wasn't as awful as people thought it was going to be. as promised. People wanted like zombie shit.
Yeah.
And that's when I think they got frustrated and were like, this isn't even a real thing. And now in Ohio, we have more cases per day than we did when the peak was happening.
Right. I want to ask you this, though. This is a good question for me to ask you, because I was never a conspiracy-minded individual. And I want you to try to take yourself back to 22-year-old Brett Payne.
Uh-huh.
And start, how do you think 22-year-old Brett Payne would have dealt with this? Where do you think you would have fallen?
I just would have been an asshole and been like, who cares who dies, I think. That's all I can come up with is like, hey man, people die. It's part of life.
Yeah.
That's the great bargain of life is you might die from a virus.
You'd be at bars.
I'd probably be at bars.
Definitely sure be at bars. You would be, if you were in Austin, Texas this weekend, 22-year-old Brett would have went and seen Vanilla Ice in concert.
He did a concert?
He's doing one. It's like all the news right now in Austin. Everything, because in Texas, bars closed. You have to close a bar. But if you're a restaurant, which means you make 51% of your revenue from food,
right,
you can stay open.
Right.
So there is a place that makes 51% of their revenue from food, and they're doing a Vanilla Ice concert, and then there's a Color Me Bad one the next night. They're doing like a whole weekend theme thing, and Vanilla Ice has not canceled as of now. But he's getting herd immunity festival type heat.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think it's going to happen, but as of right now, if you could get yourself to Austin, Texas by July 3rd, you could go see Vanilla Ice on that day.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard for me to say. I really don't know, because the data is easy to distrust if you don't know anybody, right?
Yeah.
If you're just looking at all this data, you're like, this is not real. Nobody I know has it.
Well, and also I think that dumb people don't understand that like the lockdown prevented the peaks from going as high as they did, which then, because we did the lockdown, there were lower numbers than people expected, and then they took that to mean it was a hoax the whole time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, why that, I don't know, I can't figure out why they're doing that, or like, why they don't think about the fact that, like, well, we were all in for a period of time,
Right.
But I've found myself even getting to a more comfortable state of like, oh, I mean, we need one thing. I'll just run and go grab it at the grocery store. And I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
This isn't the right way to be, But the state is like sending me that signal. Like everything is pushing to my wife's back at work,
Yeah.
Like it's hard to feel like a risk when nobody else seems to be taking it seriously.
Yeah. Wait, did I tell you about Panera? I went to Panera.
No.
I walked right the fuck out. We had to go to Westerville to go to the specialty used sporting goods store, and we never eat. Me and my wife, we always forget to do that. So we get there and we're like, oh my God, we're both so fucking hungry. And like, let's go into this Panera. I was like, I don't think there's many people in there. And we walk in, and there's like 25 people in there.
Yeah.
And none of the people working had on a mask. And nobody in there had a mask. And I turned around and was like, let's do just like a curbside online order. And then Erica was like, let's just leave.
Yeah.
How about that? I was like, yeah, that's a good idea.
A lot of the people working are not wearing the masks.
I went to Greek.
They're putting them around their neck and stuff like that. If you're working in a kitchen, it probably is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
To wear that mask.
It's very sweaty. Sweat all over your mouth and nose. And
yeah. But I think if you're making the food, you have a responsibility maybe to do that. It's like washing your hands after you take a shit or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely ready to hunker back down. I don't know. I feel like I got too comfortable.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I've gotten myself in an area where I'm like, you're acting very irresponsibly. Like I feel like I'm acting very irresponsibly. And I wasn't like that for April, May, and March, April, and May. I was very responsible. I didn't like go into a store for 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And now I'm going all the fucking time again. My wife is like always like, we need to get this, we need to get that, we need to get this. And it's like, we don't need anything. Just don't forget we don't need anything.
Yeah, just remember, we need to stay here.
Remember that period where we didn't need anything? Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Because it just becomes like a whole thing, but it is hard to stay in, and it's hard for me, especially a person who, like, when I see other people doing fun stuff, to be like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see, if you fucking walk by a patio and you see two people enjoying a smoke and a drink and just having a conversation and laughing their heads off, and you're like, I want to be those people.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So I saw this story earlier in the week. This was a big viral story. Did you see the woman who got denied service at Starbucks?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, so she comes in without a mask. She's pulling the old HIPAA plus ADA.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Right? Which, listen, I'm not here to fucking say whether she has some kind of a breathing issue or something like that. That is not... I'm not even guessing, and I don't even care. But she came into this Starbucks, and they were like, we ain't fucking serving you. And she threw a fucking tantrum. And that's where, like, I feel like you have to, like, really think before you do this at this point. Like, if we're going to walk into a place without a mask, we got to understand that there are high tensions around the mask. And I know we don't want to realize that. And, like, I think for us, for people like me and you, for people who fall on the side of pro-mask, right?
Uh-huh.
We understand that. I don't think that the Republican people, like, quite understand that. I don't think that, like, the ones that are very anti-mask, I think they just see it as, like, no, that's just a suggestion. It's not the law, and I don't have to do it. So why would anybody care if I don't do it, you know?
Yeah, I think they're also... the whole Republican thing is making everybody do what you do.
Yep.
Like, they don't understand the idea of pro-choice. Like, they're like, oh, I would never have an abortion. It's like, okay, if you let somebody else, you're pro-choice. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Like, you can make your own choice.
Yeah.
They have come down to... The masks make people feel ashamed, and they're demoralizing. Like, yeah. I've seen that, like, they're trying to demoralize Americans.
Psychological.
Yeah,
It's a psychological thing. If you can't see people's faces, then you don't care about them or something. I don't really know. So this Starbucks woman goes in, and I'm going to just read this article from NBC San Diego. A San Diego woman who was denied service at a Starbucks coffee shop for refusing to wear a mask says she's received death threats after publicly shaming the barista who refused her on social media. So what she did was she took a video of this guy, and she said his name on social media and said he wouldn't serve her because he was wearing a mask. So a GoFundMe page, which is how we do things now. That's the fight. That's the ideological, like, way that we fight each other now, was established for the barista. And, which I'm fine with. 100% fine with the barista getting $80,000.
Oh my God.
He was up to $80,000 last I checked. He was up to $68,000 when I looked at this article, when I saved this article, but the last I checked, he was at $80,000.
Did he get fired or something?
I don't think so. I think they were just like, you're not going to do this public shaming shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what we fucking do on the left? The same, or on us libs do? The same thing the right-wing people do. If somebody tells you can't have a fucking thing, then we give them $100,000
yeah,
for some reason.
That is true.
It's like a lottery now. Something bad happens to you, and then you get to get $100,000.
Just hope it's sensational enough to get $100,000, and you'll have a year or two to wait for it to all die down.
Oh God, 3. If I got $100,000, I could not do a podcast for 3 years.
It's not true at all.
Wait. Well, not the way I spend it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way.
And I wouldn't quit doing a podcast. I'd quit my Starbucks job. If I got $100,000 and I was working at Starbucks, I would fucking quit and focus on my podcast or, like, launching something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's try to fucking parlay this. She's like, I never threatened him. I just called him out on his actions. I never threatened him, and I received death threats. Thousands. It's very upsetting. It's very scary, said Amber Lynn Gillis.
Thousands of death threats?
They all say that, though. That is the other way that this works. The person that didn't get the GoFundMe, that was on the bad side of the GoFundMe, says they got death threats. And then they get to say, oh, I got death threats, maybe I should start a GoFundMe.
Right.
To get a gun to protect myself and become like a right-wing icon now.
My life has been ruined by this.
Yeah, shortly after being refused service, Gillies posted a photograph of Barisa Lenin Gutierrez on her Facebook page. The post reads, "Meet Lenin from Starbucks who refused to serve me because I'm not wearing a mask. Next time I will wait for cops and bring a medical exemption," which is...
You should have it with you.
Yeah.
You should always have it with you.
Yeah. Do you think she got in her car and maybe even is a mask? Oh, no, she's not. Actually, let me finish this. Face coverings are mandatory inside businesses in San Diego County. Public health officials said businesses have the right to refuse service to anyone not complying with the public health order. Medical conditions that would be inhibited by face masks are one of the few exemptions to wearing a mask. Gillies, 35, has 3 children and considers herself an anti-vaxxer. She says face masks are ineffective.
Right.
Which is another thing that annoys the fucking shit out of me, because she's saying it's ineffective to protect her.
Right,
And we're not saying that that's what they're effective for. We're saying they're effective to protect other people, but they can't think in terms of a society of people doing things to protect each other. You know?
No, it's all. I mean, they are guaranteed by George Washington that their life is the most important life, and they get to live that way.
Yeah, I mean, this is an anti-vaxxer too. You know, like just a person that will not get with the fucking program. You know, that thinks everybody's a sheeple that does like very simple medical things. Like, there's a lot of people, and maybe she. I like so I know some anti-vaxxers, right? And I know a couple of them, but they weren't like, it's funny because they were homeschoolers and then they wanted to put their kids in public school because their kids were a pain in the ass and they wanted to get them out of the fucking house 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
And they turned out not to be as anti-vax as they went and got them vaccinated. Which I was like, that's a weird position you put me in to judge you in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you learned your lesson?
No. Yeah, it's like, well, these vaccines can cause all kinds of problems, but I'm willing to give them to my kid to get him out of my hair for 6 hours. So they got him the vaccines, right? They went ahead and got him the vaccines, but I started to discover that I think the reason that they're like this is no insurance, right? Like so basically they didn't want to get the insurance for the whole family because you get a bigger paycheck, right? So the dad had insurance in the family I knew.
Uh-huh.
The dad had insurance through his job, but in order to get it for the whole family, it would cost so much that would take up a large chunk of his check because he had a fucking shit ton of kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he just got insurance on himself and nobody else had insurance. And they would drink and he never goes to the doctor. He ain't going to the fucking doctor because he doesn't want to pay the copays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anytime something bad happened to them, the last thing before they started to hate me is I got them into Kratom. And I think that was like a huge mistake because they're like basically curing all their problems with Kratom and lemongrass and weed now. It's like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I'll do weed, I guess. Just so happens the cure for this is weed.
Yeah.
Again. So, that's what sometimes I think anti-vaxxers are people that can't really afford to go to the doctor and don't want to get on Medicaid or anything. And then they're just like, doctors are full of shit anyways, you know?
But the San Diego types are usually the rich kind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably.
The too much money kind.
The Starbucks type. San Diego Starbucks lady that's mad. So, this guy gets this money, right? The face coverings... So, here it is. Gillies, 35. Okay, it starts with coffee, but it ends with digital certificates and forced vaccinations, Gillies said.
What? Digital certificates?
Yeah, we're going to need some digital certificates to be able to go to a restaurant.
Got it.
I think they think we're going to get a chip. It's chip time.
You think it's the mark of the beast?
It's time for chips. I do think so. I think we're on-ramping to Mark of the Beast. They think.
Makes sense.
Digital certificates, right?
Bill Gates is a perfect combo.
Bill Gates, the Bill Gates conspiracy helps my case a lot.
They could sneak the RFID into the vaccine.
Yep. And they do the vaccine, they put the chip in us, and then the chip, they'll be like, oh, the chip, all the chip does is say if you've had the vaccine. So that, like, but if you go into a building and you don't have the chip, a red light comes on. And then they're like, oh, damn, now I got to get the chip, dude.
That's perfect.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, all they want to, like, I wish they would understand that the only freedom that they really want is to go to Applebee's. And if you just get the chip, they'll let you into the Applebee's.
That would get them to go. That would get them in.
Yeah. I mean, all the freedom to a lot of these people seems to revolve around just where you go shopping.
Chain restaurants, yeah.
Eat. You know, it's like, I just want to be able to go to fucking Lowe's, okay? And it's like, well, get the chip and you can go to Lowe's. That's what they're terrified of. I would let them, I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't say it.
For a vaccine, I would let them not only put a chip in me, but I'd let them wire it to my bank account so that I could buy stuff with the chip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my
wave
God.
my hand over the machine and it's like, oh, that's how much money you have. I would let them do it. I really would.
That's the mark of the beast, dude.
I might even let them, like, listen to my conversations because I don't really say anything illegal.
They're already doing that.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have good OPSEC. So I am just like, fuck it, dude. If you got a vaccine, just give it to me. And by the way, before you give that to me, give me also an opiate of the masses. I need one of those too, like an actual pill.
Yeah.
You know? So he raises all this money, right? And she's like, she's not making any public comments, but she's posted a video. He's posted a video on his Facebook page explaining what happened, the barista. And he says he asked Gillies if she had a face mask, to which the customer responded that she didn't need one. Before I could say anything, she flipped me off and said, I don't need one, and she started cursing up a storm. I believe him. 100% believe him here. She started calling people sheep, and she left within a few minutes, came back, and she asked for my name and took a photo, said Gutierrez on video. He also thanks donors, and he said that he'll use the money to fulfill his dream of becoming a dancer.
All right, that's great.
I love that.
That's a come up.
Yeah, I wish we could all do that. That's like kind of the society I'm trying to build here.
Yeah.
You know? For her part, Gillies, who started the incident with her post, says she wants some of the money and is threatening to sue the page creator for defamation and slander.
That's some. Hey, we worked together on this. We created this commotion together. Cut me in.
While physical distancing is considered the most effective way to slow the virus spread, research has underscored the protection that wearing face coverings also offers. And it explains the mask. But she's trying to get some cash. She wants to split the money with the guy. She's like, you got 80 grand because I was evil to you.
Right.
Okay? And I called
kind
you
of my
fucking
money.
sheep. I feel like you should give me 60 grand.
She's doing the old I bought you the lottery ticket gimmick.
That's the scumbaggest move in the world, too, man. I bought you the lot. She is doing that. I never think about that gimmick, and then you bring it up, and now I'm just sitting here like, that is the fucking lowest form of human, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Is I bought you the lottery ticket person. But I want to say this. If I bought you the lottery ticket and you didn't give me some money, I'd be kind of, like, fuck you, too. You know what I mean? As the winner.
Yeah, guess so.
Wouldn't you?
I don't know.
If somebody won $40 million in the lottery,
yeah,
and you bought the ticket and gave it to them, and they didn't give you $100 grand or something.
Yeah, that would be disrespectful.
Yeah, it's just like, come on,
And also, yeah, I used up my luck.
Yeah, and when Sam Knight won the lottery, in the car when we were doing a Hellfire tour, he fucking offered to give us all money. He was like, we gave him a fake scratch-off card, and he fucking thought he won, Sam Knight from District Sentinel Radio, and he was telling us all how he was going to give us $1,000. He's like, I'm going to split this up with everybody in the van and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, so he's a good person, He's not like this lady who wants $40,000 of the guy's 80 grand, which he's going to use to become a dancer. We've decided to make his dream of becoming a dancer come true.
That's enough to get started. I'll let you find out whether you got it or not.
Can we set something up like this?
You want to, go yell at a Starbucks employee to get them their dream job?
Now that is a fucking plan that I hadn't thought of. I was just thinking of me and you staging something and then getting paid. Then one of us starting a GoFundMe and splitting the money. You know what I mean? Like, we'll be out on the street. I'm not wearing a mask. You are. You can start fucking yelling at me. And then I will put the GoFundMe up for right-wing people. Right? And then you will make another version of the video where I yell at you for wearing a mask. And then you'll put it up for the liberal people.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And we'll fucking double the fucking money.
All right.
There.
That's how we do it. Perfect.
That's the going rate now for getting publicly humiliated. I don't think he even got humiliated either. I think that's what I like about this story is that she, not only did she get humiliated, but he also got the money. Which is like she's just double humiliated. So, that's the Starbucks lady. I also saw a just another quick restaurant story that I saw that I got a kick out of. Is there is a place called the Fish Market in Clinton, Maryland. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I will read, and this is a post on Facebook by somebody, by apparently the person who was part of this incident. The Fish Market, a white-owned establishment, has been our neighborhood Cheers bar for over 20 years. They're saying Cheers like the show.
Yeah.
Cheers, right? Over 90% of their patrons are black. At this moment in our nation's racial unrest, inequality, and injustice, this guy was told by the owner of the Fish Market that he could not wear his I Can't Breathe t-shirt into their establishment. I guess maybe only our black dollars matter. Oh, they let him in after some black employees encouraged it. And then it was like a black light. So they put this review and they tagged the place, right?
Yeah.
And
Anthony wrote this. Got it.
Anthony, the guy, I think it was just the guy that, well, it was probably a friend of the guy that they weren't going to let in. So here is the wife of the guy that owns the place.
I got to look away because I saw like 3 words that are insane.
I am the other owner of the Fish Market. I am married to the man who did this last night. To say that I am shocked and embarrassed by his behavior is an understatement. He is bipolar and was drinking heavily all day yesterday, which triggers manic behavior. I make no excuses for him.
Okay, what was all that?
Yeah, those were excuses. All I can say is that his behavior in no way reflects the feeling and the culture of the Fish Market management staff and myself. We have appreciated the support and patronage of this community for many years, and we don't take that for granted. My son talked for a while with the gentleman that wore the shirt. He came in and stayed the rest of the night. I will be speaking with him myself this afternoon. My family is taking steps today to get my husband the help he needs. We apologize to any and all that were hurt by this behavior. I don't know that there's anything else I can do right now, but if you have suggestions, I will welcome them. That is a good apology for a bad situation. I give that apology 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Maybe less excuses.
Okay.
You know, but I think you do have to make a few excuses.
You do. You have to explain it. It's like, well, it's bipolar. It's like 1 minute he's like an ally, then he's racist. Like, it just goes back and forth between those 2 poles.
He's drinking. It's just it was a sick moment. Rick Giovanni, the husband, the owner.
Oh, no.
He posts, because my wife found it necessary to stab me in the back and throw me under the bus. It's with great sadness that I announce Sherry and I are no longer man and wife, business partners, or friends.
Oh, my God.
So he wanted to stick to his racism. I just throw that out there, little small business tyrant story that is like, I don't know exactly. It just when she's trying to put out a fight.
I know,
guy. She knows he's racist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
like she knows deep down in her heart that he's a racist man.
Right. And she's playing cover. She's played cover your ass his whole life or however long they've been together. Yep. And this is unacceptable now.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same. I think I would probably have reacted the same way she did. With that almost exact kind of apology, right? But like I don't know about the husband side of this. Because, I can't take a wife's side. That's not I'm a husband. I don't take wife sides.
What?
You know, I take only husband sides.
Yeah, that would be.
He's a racist guy.
Yeah, that's trouble.
So I can't take the husband side in this situation. But I also would be like, come on, you don't have to like. You could have said something else about me. I don't know. She wasn't that bad. She actually gave the fucking guy an out. You know?
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people that own bars are fucking drunks.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, you've watched Bar Rescue.
Right.
It's like most people that own a fucking bar just want to sit at the bar and get drunk. That's like what it is.
Yeah, that's why you open a bar.
That's why I would open a bar. It's like, why would you open a bar for a place to hang out? It's yours.
Racist guy in a black neighborhood just can't even keep it to himself. Like, can't even just be an undercover fucking...
He can't go home and, like, be racist to his wife. He
Right.
has to do it in public. And then I think we all... Again, her explanation was all face-saving. It's to save the business.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, this guy... I feel like I know this guy now, and he's an enormous asshole. Like,
Sure.
He's just the kind of guy that is an evil, enormous asshole that I've been around all my life. I've found people that are like, I ain't apologizing for this. He's my father-in-law, is what he is.
Yeah.
You know? Just doesn't apologize for his shit.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. He's, my in-laws are posting a lot of memes. Like, the meme level.
It's just
It's
through
just
the roof.
through the roof right now. Election season.
Yeah, the Biden signs around the corner are insane. There's
Yeah.
so many around the corner now.
That they're Biden?
Yeah.
People? Yeah.
There's Black Lives Matter and Biden signs, like,
That's
all down the road.
that's encouraging a little bit, I think, in a way. But, you know, obviously you don't want Joe Biden, but, you know what I mean. People's heart's in the right place, I think, is what it makes me think.
You're right.
It's like, your heart's in the right place. My father-in-law is 100% sure that Columbus is now a city run by Black Lives Matter and Antifa. So he is yelling at his grandkids on Facebook for being Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Columbus took down 2 Columbus statues this week.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like a really symbolic thing. What else did we get out of this deal?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that to say that's like the evidence. It's just
well, no, it's just funny because
things are happening.
I was thinking, as he's saying, like, Black Lives Matter and Antifa are running the town, I was like, we didn't, like, get a single thing out of this. Like, they didn't give us anything. They removed 2 statues.
Yeah.
And then they told us to fuck off and sprayed more tear gas at us until we all went home.
Yeah, and they're still fighting with the budget stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, but my mother-in-law was like, posted a meme this week that fucking got me good. Is a white hand shaking a black hand.
Uh-huh.
It said, I back the blue.
Oh.
But I'm also not racist.
It said that?
Yeah, it's I back the blue, but I'm also against racism. And it's like, well, I mean...
Right. That's...
okay.
You don't get to make it up here.
I back the blue and stand against racism. In case you were wondering, yes, you can do both. And actually, the hands aren't shaking. It's 2 hands doing a fist bump, like in Rocky.
Yeah, the end of Rocky when they punch.
Yeah, when they punch and there's an explosion. But it's behind, there's a Blue Lives Matter flag behind it. And I saw it and I was just like, I mean...
It's an impossibility.
You're racist, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, listen. Why don't you just say I back the blue and I'm racist? I'm also, like, racist. You know what I mean? Because that's... You back the blue because you're racist. That's why you're backing the blue.
Right. That's the reason to back the blue.
Yeah. Racism. So, Brett's got some stuff. Some COVID stuff.
I know I make COVID stuff.
Can I read this meme that a wrestler posted about COVID real quick?
Yeah, I don't want to do a COVID podcast.
All right, go
the
ahead.
way.
Then do the next thing. That's fine.
I have a good one for you that's kind of related to your first story there.
Okay.
So this is from Chilldozer on Twitter, and I want you to see this. This is the 5G BioShield.
Oh, where can I get some?
Well, I want you to look at the prices.
That's $799.99
for
3 of them.
Yes.
And those are pounds.
Yes.
believe, or lira.
Individually, I think that's a pound.
But pounds are more expensive than dollars, right? Like
Yeah.
dollars are more expensive than pounds.
Yeah,
right?
we're talking
So
350 American dollars for the proprietary holographic nano-layer technology BioShield USB key.
Where do you put it?
You plug it into your computer, and it powers. Well, I have some answers for you.
Okay, because I need to know. Here's my question: is this assuming that you're carrying your computer everywhere you go to get away from the 5G? Because that's what it feels like. It's saying you plug it into your goddamn computer, and then the 5G doesn't get you, but the 5G can get on your phone too. You know, the 5G can get anywhere. I know. I'm very soy because of the 5G.
Yeah, this is so bad.
But this is funny. I like this.
Here we go. Breakthrough quantum holographic nano-layer catalyzer technology. The new 5G BioShield is a result of the most advanced technology currently available for balancing and prevention of the devastating effects caused by non-natural electric waves, particularly, but not limited to, 5G, for all biological life forms.
Okay. So is it a talisman that you put in your pocket? Is that like what we're getting at? Like it feels like this is a talisman. Like when I first saw it and I looked at it, I was like, this is a jump drive, which that's what it is. It's just a USB drive.
Somebody had a bunch of USB drives. They bought 1,000 of them like 10 years ago. And they're like, "Fuck! What do we do with these things?"
Can I see the picture one more time?
Let me explain to you what it does one more time.
Well, let me see the picture because I want to see the insignia. Is what I want to see.
Where's it at?
Because there was like an insignia on it.
It looks like it honestly looks like Burberry's insignia. It's like a guy. It's like a knight. Not a knight, a Spartan. He has like a furry mohawk helmet. He's riding a horse that is holding a spear.
These are left over from these things are absolutely left over from like the 300 movie.
Yeah.
They were like a promotional thing for the movie 300.
It says it balanced the imbalanced electric oscillations arising from all electric fog induced by all devices such as laptops, cordless phones, WLAN, tablets, etc. The 5G BioShield brings balance into the field at the atomic and cellular level, restoring balance effects to all harmful ionized and non-ionized radiation, both.
Was worried about the ionized kind.
I mean, you have to get it all. Some people are just focusing on the ionized stuff, but who knows?
This is wild. So
all it says is just balancing, revitalization, geobiological, just over and over again.
Does it have instructions for use at all? Like, I feel like you have to tell people how to use it in the ad, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, obviously just plug it in.
To what is the thing? Like, do you put it in your house? Do you get your charging block and just plug it into that and it puts a BioShield over your whole house?
Yes, the active field effect of the 5G BioShield is minimum of 40 meters in diameter in charge. Wait, this is like
40 meters, though. That's pretty big.
Whereby all disturbances, both electric and geobiological, are converted into balanced fields. When not plugged in, the 5G BioShield provides an active field effect of permanent protective plasmic shield within the sphere of minimum 8 meters in diameter.
So 2 meters, I know, is 6 feet.
Yeah.
Because I heard that on a Canadian podcast talking about social distancing.
I think 2 yards is 6 feet.
No, they said 2 meters on the show, right? What is 2 meters in feet? I swear.
You might be right. You might be right. I just think it was 6.5.
So it's 6. So it's 2 meters, right? So he said this covers 40 meters.
Yes.
Okay?
So when it's plugged in, you're getting 131 feet diameter.
Okay.
When you're walking around, you've got a 26-foot diameter of protection from 5G.
So I don't have a good brain for these measurements, but I feel like 26 feet in diameter around you is like a large space. For that to be like you're infringing on other people's rights to 5G geobiological. Right, like what if I want the 5G?
You're helping them out.
Well, yeah, but these are people that won't wear a mask.
As a result, balanced frequencies created by the key are not only affecting the users as and where required, but all other life forms around them as well.
It's like your dog and stuff.
Your dog won't get 5G radiation.
Yeah. Well, 5G caused coronavirus, I think.
How many of these can they sell?
I mean...
One's enough. One's enough. You sell a 99-cent USB stick for $300, like that's enough for me.
It's really cool, man, because it's like it's nothing. It isn't.
Oh no,
it is nothing. It might not even have storage on it, dude. It might just be a shell.
Yeah, I mean, and it's so like, why does it like? It works without power, but it's a powered device.
I also, yeah, it's a talisman.
It is a talisman.
It is like it's like when a knight would get a necklace that was able to like build a force field around him back in like a sword and sorcery book or something. It's very weird because like I would simply, and this is why your concept makes more sense to me, and that it's just somebody that bought a whole bunch of jump drives and needed to repurpose them and figured out a way to get a bunch of money out of them because those things are worth less than nothing.
Oh yeah,
much because everybody has 75 of them in their house.
I remember, like, I get emails all the time. I remember when they would be like $75 for like a 1 gig stick or something, you know.
And somebody thought they were making a wise investment. And they bought like 1,000 of them, and they were like, "I'll fucking sell them for $5 a piece." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then nobody wanted them, and they were like, "Shit,
fuck."
I don't even know 1,000 people. I would have had to sell 500 of them to one person.
Yeah,
but because you wouldn't make it a USB drive, I guess, if you weren't gonna have to plug it into anything. You know, like I would rather have something. You know that little nerd belt thing for bugs that they sell every summer for people hanging outside? You can put like a thing on your belt with a little fan on it, and it's supposed to keep the bugs away from you.
Yes, like citronella or something smell.
Yeah, some listeners going to be like, I wear those and they actually work. And I'm not saying they don't work. I'm saying they're nerd things.
Right.
But I would rather have something like that to keep the 5G away from me.
Okay.
Like something that was like a thing that I've never seen before.
Right.
You know?
I would be, yeah, you're right. You could take like a digital timer for the kitchen and put it on a belt, and that would look more believable.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Something that I like, if it's actively cleansing the air of 5G, I feel like it needs power. I don't.
Or
like you said,
looks
just
like something. It just like look like something.
Yeah, look like something else.
Yeah. I mean, if you hooked up something that took the energy from your body and powered like a little light, people would fucking believe that was keeping 5G away from them. I can guarantee you, dude, that if you put, so you put like a pedometer thing, right? That just has red up to green lights, like a meter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you move around, the thing goes up to green, and once it's at green, you've powered it enough so that then it's keeping the 5G away from you, and it's using biopower.
Like a kinetic motion.
Yeah, it's using like biopower, which is actually like safer.
Also, like if you're trying to make money, a little indicator light. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine going to the park and they're like, oh my God, this place is soaked in 5G. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
You would feel like you saved your life, right?
You could almost give somebody a compass and just repaint the numbers on it so that the fucking thing's just flipping out and going around.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes you'll go somewhere and there's, like, no 5G, and sometimes, like, if you're going north, there's a bunch of 5G. You know? Just like, my meter's reading off the hook, and it's just because you're walking north. You know? I just came up with 2 better ideas than I just had a few extra things in my house. Also, I want to say this before you go into it. I think you could sell a shirt that did this, that didn't have anything in it.
I was going the same route because I'm thinking to myself, I guess if you just said, hey, here, it solves 5Gs, it's $5. People are like, that's not going to work. It's only $5. When you show up and you're like, this is an investment in your ionic and non-ionic exposure. Okay.
Yeah.
But I also think that if you went the $60 route, I think you could get a gang load of them sold.
So that's with my shorts, right? The shorts I'm wearing this year. They are they're Lululemon shorts, and they have
silver thread,
some kind of thread in them, right?
Yeah,
it's supposed to do something.
Antimicrobial.
Sure.
Silver thread.
I don't know that to be true. I can't see that thread. I don't even know if I believe. I'm not wearing them right now. I'm wearing Uniqlo ones. But I don't believe, they don't even have to put the silver thread in them for me to just be like, well, they say there's some silver thread in here. I guess like that does something. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I bought them because they were like comfortable, but like they can tell you anything is in this thing. And if you put that on a tag and you say, hey, I'm selling you this t-shirt. It's not only stylish, but it's also lined with a micro copper
mesh.
Yes. That keeps 5G out. And not only that, but it builds a 26-meter force field from 5G around you. So wherever you go, if you're wearing this shirt, and here's why the shirt idea is better than the jump drive idea, unless I got this other thing in my mind. The shirt idea is better because you can sell 7 of them, because motherfuckers gonna want one for every day of the week. That's, you sell a shirt.
You can sell packs. You're right.
Yes.
You can sell a 5-pack or a 6-pack. Yes.
And for this thing, there's nothing on it to tell you when it's running out. You know what I mean? You want these to run out.
What do you mean? if
If you're like a person who's trying to, if they're this kind of scammer, you want these to have some sort of thing in them that runs out and reduces the effectiveness after like 6 months.
That's
like,
true.
After 6 months, this thing, it dies.
Yeah, you get an email that says, hey, have you noticed your brain feels fried recently? It's time to re-up your 5G.
Yeah.
So that is true. Grindcore enthusiast asks, are they just trying to get 4G? Like, what G? They just want to stay at 4G?
I guess. I like LTE more. I tend to be happier when I'm on LTE.
I think that's 5G, isn't it?
No, is it? No, I think LTE is a different thing. It's not a G at all. 5G's new.
You're right.
That's why they're flipping their lids about it. They're freaked about the 5G.
LTE is 4G.
Yeah, so LTE is 4G, which is my preference, actually. 3G. So the 5G, and this has been going on for like a year or two, because we had an opportunity to have a sponsor for 5G underwear. But we didn't take it because we didn't want sponsors on the show. But we did consider taking it because we thought it was funny.
I should go back. I'm going to do that now. We should get that money. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, 5G underwear. Like that was 2 years ago, probably, maybe early last year.
Are you sure it wasn't RFID underwear?
No, that was 5G.
It was 5G.
Remember,
okay.
You got a hold of me and you were like, "These are 5G underwear." RFID. You want, because wallets. I'm looking for a wallet right now.
Yes.
And they're all like, it'll keep all that RFID out of this. And I'm like, I don't even know if why I should care about that.
No, the RFID blocking wallets, they sell them on like QVC, just tons of them. And they basically, the idea is that some hacker is going to walk by you and swipe your wallet and steal all of your card information. Kind of what they said that old man in Buffalo was doing to the cops. They think that they believe that everybody has like this secret spy stuff that they can just go and take everything from you.
Speaking of that, because that is like a real cop way to think. You know what I mean? That some guy would have because they don't know anything about technology. I actually saw this today. The mayor of Chicago was giving us like some kind. She was explaining why they're doing police sweeps because they're sweeping the neighborhoods now because obviously they're getting revenge on
Get backs.
black people.
Yeah.
And she said, no, we have to. They're stealing our kids away from us. A kid can go out on a street corner and make $30,000 to $50,000 a week just selling drugs.
Oh, but they stay in those neighborhoods and live with their with the extended family.
Yeah, they're like, if the cops don't go and arrest people, then these kids are going to obviously choose the $30,000 to $50,000 a week job, and it's like,
I'll trade job.
Somebody did the math. It's like $8 million a year.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's so what a horrible person.
I know, and it's just such a funny thing to say that. Like,
you said Chicago?
Yeah,
yeah, I saw that. They're like July 4th. They're like, oh, it's gonna get really bad, so we really have to bust some heads now.
Yeah, and so and it's revenge. It's all revenge. But anyway, yeah, the 5G thing and worrying about hackers. I mean, it's really easy to rip boomers off. And probably a good portion of Gen X by saying that hackers are going to fuck you up. Like, hackers really are a scammer's best friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Because nobody knows what they are or what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and most of the time it's like just to get free. It's like getting a free Grubhub order for $60.
Exactly. Most of it is just like really low level kind of stuff. I mean, some people probably
there's full identity thefts
stuff and then do identity theft, but I'm just saying that like it's not some creep on the street with like a wristband that has like a keyboard on it that he pulls up when you walk by and he starts typing on it and he gets all your credit card and your social security number and then buys a car with it. You know? That's not like what it is. And like the 5G stuff has been very fun to watch because it's chemtrails. It's the new chemtrails.
It's new chemtrails, but it's frustrating. It's also one of these things where like they focused on something, but they've chosen such a horribly uninformed position. Where I have read plenty of articles. There was articles coming out about 5G disrupting like weather systems and like all these other issues that could come from it, but none of them were about turning us into mutants or anything like that, or whatever they think's going to happen.
I mean, What
do they think it is? Brainwashing? Is that what it is?
I think it's anxiety sort of thing, like brainwashing /
No, I mean, do they think the 5G is brainwashed? What's the effects of 5G?
I'm saying that like it causes people to be like little more docile.
It's like fluoride in the water.
Yeah, it tosses out a little bit of anxiety and like all this stuff. I'm trying to find it. See, I can't ask Google because Google is like, oh, it's great.
Yeah, Google's in cahoots.
Love 5G.
Go to DuckDuckGo. They'll give you the real information.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to go to DuckDuckGo and look up 5G. I don't think that's even going to work.
What are you trying to look up?
What's
the truth about 5G?
Yeah, of course I am.
Chat, what are your relatives saying?
Somebody send us...
Radiation...
It's radiation.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's pictures of all those like palm trees that caught on fire or something.
Was that from 5G?
Yeah, they claimed it was. Setting trees on fire.
Government did?
No. The crazies.
Oh, cool, man. I'm looking it up. Because I'm real curious. So it lights trees on fire. And what else does it do? Like, okay, here we are.
And also, like you said, scamming boomers and stuff. Like, I think we're gonna get there eventually. Where like I'm at the age now where I don't pay attention to stuff, and then like I see a new phone, and I'm like, that fucking thing folds in half. We're at phones folding in half already. I had no fucking idea.
I want one of those. Every time I hear about those, I get excited about them.
So I think they're just the delay gets longer and longer until they're like, oh yeah, kids are just going to Walmart with key fobs and stealing everybody's information. You're like, oh my god,
yeah,
I'm out of touch. I didn't know I was that out of touch. Which it is like, it's one of those like Law and Order is to blame for this. They find one story and then they make an episode out of it.
And then people think that's news because Law and Order is happening from the headline.
Yeah, they think it's happening everywhere. They think that Law and Order is reporting on trends instead of the one time a group of kids took a machine gun and hung it from the ceiling and played a fucking game with it.
Wow, that's an episode.
I saw that episode.
Oh, there is one?
They pulled the trigger on a gun. A kid died. They were like, who shot the kid? And everybody was like, nobody shot the kid. Like, how is that possible? So then they go in the middle of this room and they've got the red laser strings coming. And they figure out that they took a gun, held the trigger down and let it spin in the room. And they all like ran and were like dodging the bullets for fun. Ann Socks in the chat has seen that episode.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one. So
it was a sex dare, says Rachel, our youth correspondent, Rachel.
A sex dare.
Yeah.
To do okay. Well, I like it.
Okay.
All right. So it says someone had set the newly installed tower ablaze. They lit a tower on fire in the United Kingdom. People who have consumed disinformation spread on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter by celebrities, other users, and even pro-Kremlin Russian channel RT.
Oh,
which
God.
is like, why are you always going to the Kremlin?
I've been to RT. We know people that worked for
I know.
them.
We actually stood in RT at one point.
We did our broadcast from Trump's inauguration on January 20th from the Kremlin-sponsored RT studios.
Yeah.
It was pretty sucky place.
It was a little office.
Yeah.
Kind of crummy.
It was your normal startup office where people get to don't have to wear ties or something.
Let's see. Oh, RT did a YouTube thing about 5G. Oh, and now when you go to the RT YouTube page, it says RT is funded in whole or in part by the Russian government.
What?
It says it right underneath it. So, they said it causes COVID-19. And
that's what it was too. Why did I forget that?
What?
That they were posting all those maps of where 5G had been launched and where the biggest COVID spikes were at.
That's tight. If it caused COVID-19, I'm really, really pissed.
Oh yeah. Take the phone, but take the internet speed back. We can have LTE.
Yeah, you took me off the fucking road so you could have faster phone shit, you know?
No, thank you.
So,
all right. I don't have any more. I don't think it's all bad boss stuff now.
Okay, well, that's Sunday stuff. But,
I got 3 write-ins, though.
You got 3? Go for it. Let's get it.
You want to read some? I'll check the other ones, but,
we got time.
You got to see this. You're going to love this. It is a job advertisement on Indeed.com.
Oh, cool. I love Indeed.
Yeah.
I look at Indeed a lot to get stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's the wide open west for small business tyrants over there.
You know what's another one? And we need to get a Street Fight subscription to it, but Glassdoor is a great website that we should have a subscription to for the show.
This is kind of long, but it's mostly benefits. I will just get the good, juicy details here. Now, I don't know how to... I'm trying to figure out how to paste this properly because it's like a very nightmarish scenario. So I'm going to wait till the end to give you the punchline here. But this is a job posting for a mentee to the chief executive officer.
No, a mentee?
Yeah.
Wait. That means, so this guy is like, I want to mentor somebody.
Woke up
in his mind that he needs to do.
He's listening to all the Success Win podcasts, and they're like, a big part of being successful in business is finding a mentor. And instead of him getting a mentor, he was like, I should mentor somebody.
I get like that sometimes, though. I get this weird thing where, sometimes I'll, really start to think highly of myself out of nowhere, and I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna help this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
And then after a while I'm like, what do I know about anything? I at least before I put the ad out, I'm like, what do I know about anything?
Yeah.
I got lucky as shit.
Yeah, that's what all this is. The guy's an investor, which that is another
lucky.
That's lucky.
That's the luckiest person. That's just as lucky of a person job as my job.
All right. So, Black Bull Capital Partners in Cincinnati, Ohio, $50,000 to $75,000 a year
To be a mentee.
I
might do that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You have to give up on all your principles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It says there's commission as well, which is not bad, but here we go. Do you want the opportunity to create change? This may be your opportunity to work side by side with the chief executive officer of an innovative, aggressive financial services firm dedicated to changing the financial services industry. So he copied that from another financial firm. They all say that. We focus on creating incredible opportunities for aspiring financial advisors, and this elite group of advisors will be mentored by senior leadership to eventually assume leadership positions and fuel our future growth. Selected candidates will undergo rigorous training and have daily mentoring sessions with the chief executive and leading advisors as they learn the fundamentals of building a thriving financial services practice within the umbrella of a rapidly growing, well-respected brand. Rapidly growing, well-respected brand, Black Bull Capital Partners has 229 likes on Facebook.
It's rapidly growing.
It's rapid.
That is a rapid
Hey, we had
growth.
0 last year.
Exactly, yes. I mean, the thing is, this job is... So, he said it's paying $75K a year.
50 to 75.
Nightmare job. This is a fucking nightmare. First of all, it's 50. If
And-
it says 50 to 75,000 a year, it's 50.
And first of all, it's 50 if you hit the right metrics.
Yeah. It's
And
not-
also, you have to wonder, there's nobody in the office that could be mentored? Because this feels to me like it's just a job application. Like, this feels like he's looking for you to be a financial advisor, but is pitching it as like an opportunity to be next to this guy's big brain.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here's bad news, too. June 23rd. 31 applicants in the past week, but I'm still looking for the absolute best of the best to join a team to work directly with me. 31 people. You couldn't find one financial advisor.
No. It's because he's fucking crazy. This is a person who people met. Like, they went in for an interview and they met him and they were like, I can't work with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It was very
He's like,
obvious.
I'm tired of all these people who think they know more than me. I just need to be able to train someone how I do things.
Yeah.
So here's the long list of things they want from you. Well, it's not actually that long. Just the very vague things.
Okay.
Black Bull Capital Partners welcomes applicants from a variety of backgrounds, including military veterans, newcomers, and experienced financial services professionals, and recent college graduates. Okay. Our most effective financial advisors are... Now, wait, are we a financial advisor or are we a mentee? I'm not going to do financial advising. I'm going to learn from the best.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to be CEO. I don't want to learn how to be the fucking employee.
That's what you're learning, though. You're signing on to be a mentee. You're not signing on for a job as a fight. Because, like, I think that's what it is. This person's like, I just want to... You know what, man? I want to give this little bird wings and nurture it and let it fly on its own and it can start its own financial firm, you know? Then I don't have to worry about 401ks and shit like that and benefits, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's benefits.
So I'll wrap it up here. There's a there's a list of our most effective people. I thought this was funny. This one, it says trustworthy, ethical, and resilient. And now ethical in finance means just whatever is legal. And that's how they got away with all those robo-signed mortgages and shit.
Yes.
So there's no ethics in this thing at all.
No, not in that kind of shit. Not in finance. I mean,
it's got a good benefits too. It really sounds like the best opportunity I've seen.
Yeah.
And it has to be hell. This is like whoever could survive this, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Is like, first of all, he could have called you a junior analyst.
Yeah, or junior advisor.
Junior advisor. There's 50 different things that this person could have called this applicant, but instead they called them mentee.
Yeah.
Which then, I think he wants like a father-son relationship.
Seems like he's asking for a son.
Yeah, he wants to pat somebody on the head.
Oh, I'll teach you how to cut up an apple with a paring knife.
Yeah, he wants to invite people over for picnics.
Yeah.
He like wants to do the picnic thing. He wants like somebody that comes over to his house and wants to be friends with him and wants to hang out with him. I'm sure of it.
It's a long ass day and they're wrapping up and the guy's like going to the mentee's going to leave and he's like, "Hey Josh, let's throw a couple." And he tosses him a baseball glove and they go to the park to play catch.
No, he doesn't do it. They don't like go to the park. What they do is there's a pool table at the office.
Oh yeah, he's like,
and he has like a little mini fridge with like IPAs in it.
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey buddy, come over here
before you leave."
Yeah,
sure you don't want to rack them?
You can play some 9-ball, maybe drink one of these fucking sweet beers I bought with my huge salary.
So this is for someone that's people oriented, which I mean,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, most jobs are. You have to be around people. Adaptable and flexible. Enjoys doing work that requires frequent shifts in direction. I love it. I love it when you just give me a pile of work and you're like, we're changing direction.
That's a telltale sign. It's extreme change in direction means
frequent too.
Yeah, that is one of those things that's you're at the whim of another dude. That is small business tyrant language to the T. Extreme frequent changes in direction is, first of all, cocaine. It sounds like cocaine. And what we know about financial advisors is they love cocaine.
Yeah.
But it also is just like a failing business that this guy's probably flailing.
Yeah.
You know? He's probably like, fuck, I need to get somebody in here that knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'll be his mentor. You know, I own the business. I have all the licenses and certifications and stuff. I need to get somebody in here that knows what they're doing so that it doesn't fucking go under.
Detail oriented. Would rather focus on the details of work than the bigger picture. Okay.
That's another red flag.
Yeah.
Right there. It's like, hey, don't fucking ask me what I'm doing over it, especially at a financial
It is. Yeah. You're right. Like, are we going to go out of business next week? No, worry about the details of the day. Don't worry about the big picture here.
Yeah, don't worry about where all this
that means
coming from.
Don't ask me any fucking questions.
Yeah, because there's got to be some kind of embezzlement or some fucking wild shit going on in there where he's like, do not come to me asking why this money's going into this account.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to testify in court.
I told you to fill out this spreadsheet. You just fill this out. No more questions.
Yeah, you don't know anything. It's best if we put offices on the other side of the room now, just to make sure we're okay.
Maybe he thinks a mentee can't testify against a mentor.
Yeah, he's like, that's my son, basically. Achievement oriented, enjoys taking on challenges even if they might fail. Well, you're going to get in trouble for him too.
Yeah, you're going to go to jail, my dude.
Autonomous and independent, enjoys working with little direction. This is the mentee.
Yeah.
I'm the mentee. Please leave me alone. Yeah, I just want to go over there and do detail-oriented work on a whim that you tell me I have to do.
Yeah. This guy really wants somebody that sits outside of his office.
A dog. A puppy dog.
Yeah, he wants to just tell him to do shit, and he goes and does it. He's like, man, this is great. What do you want to bet this is like one guy sitting in a commercial office space that he rented that he's lonely at work?
You might be right there.
His wife doesn't want to talk to him on the phone all day. He's like fucking ran out of people to text.
Innovative. Prefers working in unconventional ways or on tasks that require creativity.
At a Starbucks,
yeah.
Probably working at a cafe because there's no Wi-Fi at the office and there is no office.
Yeah, so
that's a bad job, dude. Don't take that job if you're out there. I mean, just don't take a mentee position unless it's like it feels like that's something you don't advertise for either. You don't put one ad out for a mentee. That's like something that is like a thing where it's like I always assumed that if I had a mentor, it would be a person that was like, hey man, I really respect you and they really respect me, and then we sort of agree that they're going to be my mentor.
My wife does it at her job.
Yeah.
And it's at people that are already at the job.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hire somebody for that. You work with somebody and you say, hey, I think they got what it takes. to move to the next level.
Yeah.
I want to help you out, or I want to be here to help you get your footing. This I think you're right. I think I skipped over some of this stuff, but they claim that they'll pay for your license reimbursement and all that stuff. They basically want a warm body in here. Like, he's willing to pay for all of this stuff.
It's a friend.
Yeah.
He just wants a friend to come and sit at the office, and he's a guy that, probably doesn't have friends. If that... Oh, I gotta see the pictures.
A few of our dynamite dads sporting their Father's Day gifts from Gina. Thanks for helping to keep our dads safe and represent the home team at the same time.
Oh, that's in Cincinnati. We could go visit these guys.
So, yeah, they're doing all right. They got the very most generic conference room I've seen. It's pretty standard.
Every place. There's a place right by my house that opened up during lockdown that was is like a firm like this. I don't know exactly what they do. It's just guys in suits. And their meeting room is like right out onto the street, like where I can see in when they're meeting. They probably did that like intentionally because they like the cars and driving by and people walking by and shit like that. And I walk by there and see him in there, and every time I look over there and I see him sitting in that conference room, I just go, they're not doing anything. There's like just nothing happening in there right now.
It's Black Bull Capital Partners is the name for those people that asked.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it.
Menti is the best. Why didn't he fucking pick one of those people sitting in a room with him?
I know.
In that picture, one of the dads. Hey, how about one of those dads be your mentee?
It reminds me of it kind of reminds me when we were at the airport one time, and there's two guys going to take a piss, and they're all in like lanyards and stuff, and this guy's like, "So what do you think about that meeting? I thought it was quite interesting the way that Roger brought up some of those new dynamics." And the guy next to him just goes, "Yeah, it was interesting." And then they just are quiet. And that's what I feel like that's what a lot of work stuff is like pretending that you know the stuff that they're talking about, or just not explaining further, just being like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's dialogue I would write. Like, if you were like, Brian, we need a sketch about businessmen.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, okay, I got this, because I don't know any businessmen.
Right.
All right, we got one more here?
Yeah, if you want, or we can save them.
Yeah, let's save them. We did it. We did the show, man. You close us out. I will stop the stream. I know how to do that.
Makes sense. Grindcore enthusiast said that meeting was enlightening. Oh, it was. Yeah. We have a lot of new things to think about. I mean, I'm just thinking so hard about work in my brain right now. Can't even respond. So thank you for listening to Street Fight Radio. Oh God, hold on, Brian. Do you want to see our mentor?
Yes.
You got to see our mentor. Maybe we'll make his thing like the picture for the episode or something.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at the guy.
Vanilla Fudge guy, just spiky hair. 40-year-old guy
gets real fucking red at the bar. He drinks he probably drinks White Claws now, and he gets really red at the sports bar and starts yelling, and then is pissed off that somebody played hip hop on the jukebox instead of Creedence. Is what this guy is.
Yeah.
Or Bob Seger, if you will.
I gotta say, also very suspect clothing choice on this. Just a weird orange tie with like a weird greenish colored shirt. I don't know. I guess
he's got a look of a guy that gets fucking angry when he gets angry. You know,
like
he's smiling in this picture. You know?
Oh yeah.
But he's got the look of a guy that, I mean,
loses his shit.
One of those angry guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
He probably fucking has like a really nice house.
Yeah.
And he only hangs out in the garage. And with the garage door open.
Yep.
And if anybody comes out there, he just yells at them.
He's also throwing a remote through the TV if the Reds lose. Yes, awful human being. Thank you for listening to Street Fight Radio. The chat is good tonight. I got a burp. Thank you for calling Street Fight. Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening to Street Fight Radio. We will be back on Sunday for the call-in show. 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time is the way to get us. I don't know why I can't talk right now. If you want more of what Street Fight Radio does, head over to patreon.com/Street Fight Radio, where you can support the show with your money. That helps us expand our operation and spread this mess across the U.S. Also gets you plenty of bonus content. Brian is wrapping up the Holy Boys premium audio season right now. He did that with Tom Sexton from the Trillbillies.
I don't know what's next, but it'll be in 2 weeks.
Well, we'll have some more. We will have some more premium audio on the way, but if you sign up right now, you get access to Teen Fight Radio, you get access to Shocktober, you get access to March Madness, and all of the other bonus audio that we have, including videos and zines. So we have the most jam-packed Patreon that you can get, and if you want to help us out, head over to patreon.com/Street Fight Radio. And if you want to submit anything to the zine, we are taking those submissions over at streetfightradio.com. I will see you on Sunday. Peace.